So, I mean, you can definitely, this is a pretty popular time of year for people to start podcast or restart their podcast. So maybe talk about how to know when it's time to do that for you or your brand or your podcast. So really, my simple answer is whenever is right for you. That's just because this is a popular time of year to do it doesn't mean that it works for you. You want to do this intentionally and thoughtfully. You don't want to rush through it. So kind of, thinking about things like planning, scheduling, all of that can really help to kind of determine when it's right for you. And if it makes sense for you, of course, like that's, kind of the first part of that. But the second part of it is when to start.
Yeah. And I mean, really take your time with it. Get your reps in. If you're new to talking on a microphone, it's harder than it looks, especially if you have like other people at your business or your practice or whatever that are getting involved. Do a practice run. Do 2 of them if you want, get comfortable doing it and try to build up a couple of episodes before you put them out because, this stuff thrives on consistency and just building up that lead while you can is wonderful.
Yeah. And then kind of another signal. So say you're like, okay, we can do this as a team. We've got this. And then maybe you're like, okay, I know I can do that, but you're still not quite sure. Another way to know, hey, maybe it's time to start that podcast is if your audience for your brand or your company is kind of stagnant. Like maybe you've been producing the same type of content, you've reached kind of a plateau, a growth plateau, if you will. So starting a podcast is a great way to kind of inject new audiences or to engage people that have kind of they just scroll past you at this point. Like they're like, oh, I've seen that 1,000 times from them. It's in one ear, out the other, not even looking at it. So, but you're scrolling and you see like, oh, new podcast, or hey, maybe you see 2 awesome people talking about really awesome things like podcast growth and marketing from a podcasting company, and blankets, of course. And wine, just random, we're clearly in the comfy things here.
This is clearly like still holiday brain. We're talking about blankets and wine and Trader Joe's.
We're trying our best here, guys. But anyway, so that's a great way to kind of literally start cutting through the noise and getting people's eyes, whether they're new or just re-engaging people, to really kind of define if that's, right for you and your company.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that end, Alyssa, I mean, I think we actually talked about it, or we will talk about it. Getting into podcasting is great for injecting some new life into your brand because it's such a reformatable format. You could break segments from your podcast if you do it on video and put it on YouTube as a video. You could just release the episode on different formats. You could do audiograms, all that stuff, transcripts, blog posts, all of that sourced from one piece of content.